All right, we're doing something that we hardly ever do on this channel. We are going live. So if you're tuning in, if you're watching this on the replay, we're gaining an audience share right now. We're waiting on our Lofty AI whale, Terry. The Investing Nomad is going to stop by the channel today, and we're going to chop it up. We're going to talk about blockchain. We're going to talk about real estate. And as always, I am your crypto nerd. Terry, can you hear me all right? Are we good?
Perfectly. Yeah, Monty, thanks. Thank you so much for having me on your show. This is quite a privilege. I feel blessed to be here.
I'm stoked that you're here, man. I'm glad we were able to figure out a time where it worked for both of us, even though we're like halfway across the globe from each other right now.
We are. Are you a family man? Do you have children?
I am. I've got 4 children, 3 still at home, one's off at college.
Okay, fantastic. You're too young to have a college-aged kid. No way. I cannot believe that.
Oh yes, believe it.
Oh my goodness. So did you just
Filipino genes? I'm half Asian, so we look young until we get really old. But one day I'm just gonna wake up and I'm gonna have gray hair, need a cane, hunchback, and boom, it'll be done.
I just dropped off my daughter to school. She's 4 years old. I started very late in life because I'm in my 50s. So
oh boy, oh, you've got your hands full. So my daughter just turned 9 yesterday. She's the youngest.
All right.
So wow. we've got quite the spread. Yeah, it was her birthday yesterday. We took her to the park, had piñatas, bought her some crypto. So she's got that as her.
You do that for your kids too? I just bought my daughter a share of Tesla.
Oh yes, absolutely. My 13-year-old's got Tesla, and he's rubbing it all the time because he currently owns more Tesla than I do, and we've just been kind of like adding to it consistently. I do my very best to give him some financial upbringing. And do you know Robert Kiyosaki's stuff?
I do. Yes,
Rich
I
Dad
do.
Poor Dad.
Rich Dad Poor Dad, and
he's got a
something about the 4 quadrants.
Yep. He's got a game out that's great for children. It's called the Rat Race or the Mouse Chase or something like that.
Right.
And it's great. It's better than Monopoly. So it teaches them to escape the rat race, and it's fantastic.
My daughter goes off to school.
I feel like we need an Algorand background. There we go.
Daddy, can I have some money for some snacks for school today?
Oh yeah.
That's what she knows about money so far. I just hand it to her, and it's an infinite supply.
It just appears.
Yes.
All right. Well, you'll have to fill her in on the investing strategies and how to be fiscally responsible.
That's true. We'll get there when she's 6.
Yeah. Right.
What age did you start with your kids, teaching them about financial literacy?
Oh, well, she's 9. We've been playing that game since probably she was 2 because she's got older brothers, right? So we just kind of, we've just always been talking about it. So when they land on payday on the game, I quiz them. All right, who do you pay? And they say, I pay myself first. So we have like these little banter, these little mantras that we go back and forth with.
My daughter doesn't understand the coin's value, so she's just like the bigger one is the best one.
Oh yeah, so she's all about the nickels and you got it. Well, I mean, hey, if you got like a silver dollar or something, that might be okay.
True.
My 13 and 11-year-old, they got NFTs now, so they tried their hand at NFTs. So they asked me for a new graphics card. They play video games, so they're like, "Hey, Dad, so we need this new graphics card so we can go play Fortnite." And I was like, "Fortnite? You want a new graphic? No, go mow some yards or go do something." I'm thinking, when I was your age, I would go, hustle to make some money. And they're watching me make videos all the time. And they're like, well, to heck with this mowing yard stuff. We're going to make some NFTs. And so the 13-year-old figure out the plan for the rarities and the traits. And the 11-year-old is the artist. So they created the algo dials. And they're funny. They're not top sellers by any means.
Yeah. Are you able to pull it up on the screen? I'd love to take a look.
Where are the algo dials? I bet they're on NFT Explorer. Hold on, let me pull them up for you.
Yeah.
NFT
That's
Explorer.
Amazing. I mean, there was an article recently about a 13-year-old who made like $80,000 with his NFT collection or something like that. I remember reading.
Oh yeah, they had no such luck, but they did all right. Let's hit screen share here, and we'll hit the Chrome tab, NFT collections, boom.
I gotta say, Monty, I like the background for Restream because this is so much nicer than the StreamYard one.
Oh yeah, yeah, it
pool
works
in the background there. Modern house. It looks so nice.
All right, so there they are. I'm going to turn off the chat overlay so you can see a little bit there. So there's the algo dials.
Algo dials. Okay, so like crocodiles. I get it. It's a play on words, right?
Yep.
All right.
So they made $56. So they made just enough to get this this graphics card or whatever it was that they wanted. I think they only had to come up with half of it. I think I came up with the other half. But they
nice matching.
They came up with the commons, the rares, the legendaries. They got a couple of mythics in here. They got some idea. They got one of these guys has laser eyes.
Oh, that's crypto. That's crypto for sure.
Right.
Anything with diamond hands, if there's a diamond hands in there, I'll buy that.
They didn't have any diamond hands. I think this one they got lazy on. It was algo dial number 10, and they just named it 10, 10, 10 and put 10s all over it.
Clever.
This one is algo dial 11. He's just the flying dial. They just removed the grass and just put more clouds. So
I find that with the NFT collections, right? There isn't a lot of differences between them.
Yeah, but you know what? Like they got after it and they did it, and so they did indeed get their graphics card. So go figure.
I mean, if you can do this at their age right now, imagine what they can do 20 years from now. It's like it boggles the mind.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, and I didn't have to help them a whole lot. They have got the Apple drawing program already plugged in. They took a few art classes. They powwowed a little bit about what animal they wanted to anthropomorphize and bring to life, and they're like, the algo dials. That's the one. That's the ticket.
That's clever.
What kind of traits do we want? And they put some thought into it, and then I won't say they rug, but I don't think they finished the whole project.
I mean, if
right, we shouldn't laugh at the NFT rugs, but
when hey, if what is the 9 and 13 you said, if 9 and 13-year-olds rug pull you,
yeah, you
just have to laugh.
Yeah. So I don't know if their community is all up and running, but they're still out there.
I mean, if emus can sell, and
emus can sell, yeah. What was that thing you put on your video the other day? Something about pizza or something?
Yeah, because some of the drawing, it was like the mist. Like if you bite into something, right?
Yeah.
Then the part your mouth covers should be underneath your mouth. But in this case, it was kind of like, it looked like there was nothing in the middle.
Oh,
it was just bad. It was poorly drawn, and I just kind of criticized it with a video.
All right, you called him out for it a little bit. All right.
I had no other video ideas at that time.
So you're getting into NFTs, but you are, by all accounts, an NFT whale, because every house that you have from Lofty is an NFT, right?
Theoretically, I guess.
Theoretically, you're right. You got all kinds of NFTs.
In that case, I have 103 NFTs.
Oh, you're up to 103 now?
I have one from Lewis. He bought me one on my birthday, which is a Lofty NFT. Plus, if every property is an NFT, I've got 102 properties.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So you are well diversified.
Very well. Yeah, I think 5% of the properties are not paying rent, and it's only costing me 14 cents a day out of my 24 bucks.
That's all right. I mean, you want to share your Lofty story? Like, how did you find Lofty? Because you didn't start YouTubing with Lofty. You found Lofty, later.
Right. Yeah. I started YouTubing July 1st, 2021, when the tech lead, because are you subscribed to the tech lead, Patrick?
I am not. No.
Okay. Give him a subscribe, because this guy is like a walking, entertaining train wreck. He's like brilliant. Okay. He might be one of the smartest people on the earth.
Okay.
But he's a disaster, and he's always getting himself embroiled. Yeah, he's a hot mess, embroiled in some controversy. So his latest video was "Women Shouldn't Code."
Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah.
He's stirring the pot there.
And then he just the tweet storm that came after that. He just kept adding fuel to the fire.
Okay.
But he created his own. He had 1 million subscribers, Monty, and he created his own coin on July 1st. He called it the MM token. Okay. He released it at $1, and it was pegged at $1. So it was
so I follow him on Twitter, actually.
Okay, yeah, but subscribe to him on YouTube.
He's actually mentioned you on Twitter a few times, but I don't know if you're just not on Twitter, or he doesn't tag you on Twitter.
Yeah, not that much.
But he reposts your videos every once in a while as well.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that's cool.
And I can't hate on him. I'm underwater on my latest purchases of by about, I don't know, $27,000. I'm down. But
oh boy, yeah.
But the first cycle when it pumped, I made $200,000 and realized $200,000 Canadian. So
all right, well that doesn't suck. You're all right then. You're still in the green.
I can still be okay. I can laugh about it.
Yeah, profit is
so
profit.
That was July 1st. We documented that, and that's how quickly our channel grew because he's got 1 million subscribers, and we were following his coin. And in 2 weeks, it went from $1 to $200, and then subsequently he's just crashed since then. But in that process, one of our live stream regulars, and I'm trying to remember his name now, because he hasn't been on in a while. But he mentioned to me I should, hey, look into this Lofty. And on two live streams, he kept saying, you got to check out Lofty.ai. And I get so many recommendations for stuff. Being a YouTuber, they want me to talk about their projects, right? I'm sure you get the same.
Yep, I get it too.
Yeah, and I'm like, I just brushed it off. Okay, yeah, Lofty.ai, Lofty.ai. And like the third time he told me, he says, listen, Terry, you really got to take a look at Lofty.ai. I'm like, okay, I will. And then I went to the website and I'm like, what? Real estate, $50?
Yeah, it's cheap to get in. And in the early days, you didn't have to be first too. You didn't have to be lightning fast.
That's true. I know.
Yeah, I mean, you had a day or two to like get in there. Now you got to have like I don't know. How do you do it? Do you got a bot set up, or you're overseas?
No, honestly, I do actually have. Honestly, I have a 20-point system.
Yeah.
And I actually even said I will for $100, or sorry, not even $100, for 100 algo.
Yeah. Okay.
I said, for 100 algo, I'll send you my 20-point system. Nobody took me up on the offer, but I gave some free. I gave like 3 or 6 freebies in the Lofty Investors group. Just some simple things you could do.
Excellent.
But,
all right. So
I have a slow internet connection.
So you've got it down to a science now. So you've made sure that hey, you can take advantage of this, and there's a secondary market too that's live now, right?
I know. One of the users, TC, who's also in Algorand's community, he got an invite to be a beta test participant. He actually has something scheduled with them, like a 30-minute call,
like an intro, a demo.
Yeah, I guess he gets a first peek at it, and then they're going to ask him for feedback on the. I guess this is more for the front end, for the GUI, the graphical user interface.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't even know if the actual body is built for it yet.
But I know they're hard at work on stuff over there. Max and team are excellent. We've had a lot of communication behind the scenes. I'm a big fan of anything to deal with real estate and blockchain. Not just Lofty, but Lofty is sort of a leader.
Monty, you're one of the only people that's really covering Algorand as in-depthly as you are, right?
There's about 4 or 5 of us now. We're growing. I think I might have been the first one, but there's definitely people who have picked up the mantle and run with it. And
I want to be one of those people as well too, because I've just been so impressed with the Algorand blockchain. But how many people are covering Bitcoin? You got Anthony Pompliano.
Everybody knows some of the big ones. BitBoy. Yeah. You got a bunch of folks. Davis.
And same with Ethereum, right? But there's hardly anybody who's really like, holding the Algorand flag. And, I want to be part of it.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the party.
So I'm glad it's happening.
Now, so as somebody who's kind of moving into more Algorand, how do you feel about Lofty taking Ethereum then?
Well, my first foray, because they said, if you want to try it, if you're one of the first 10 people to try it, because I got part of the beta test process, we'll give you a $25 gift certificate. So I love free money. So I went right away, and I didn't even read the instructions. I just started the process to buy a token because I really wanted to be that first person.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I realized I thought I could just do it from crypto.com because I had some Ethereum on crypto.com, but nope, it's through MetaMask. So
okay.
And I didn't actually, and all my Ethereum was staked at crypto.com, so I couldn't even extract any Ethereum to do it anyway. So regardless, I had to buy Ethereum on crypto.com. Then I had to send it over to MetaMask, and then I had to do the purchase through Lofty. So 3 transactions, total cost $18. In Ethereum,
but you got a $25 gift card, and you got a Lofty token.
Yeah, so I got a $7 gift card. Yeah, but
$7 net gift card.
Net gift card, and $18 is low fees for Ethereum right now. I've paid in the hundreds of dollars to do a transaction before.
Yeah, I was going to say that actually was a little on the low end, depending on the timing that you had there.
Yeah.
All right.
I won't ever buy again on Ethereum. There's no way. Well, why would I when I can buy it for fractions of a penny on Algorand?
Is it going to make it harder for your 20-point system to work now, though? Because there's going to be, all these ETH folks trying to get in too.
I think the Ethereum is lower than Ethereum is much slower in transaction time than Algorand, right? I remember it almost
that.
seemed like it was 3 or 4 times. Did you try purchasing with Ethereum yourself?
No, I did not. So I've got a couple of tokens, but I'm nowhere near, lofty whale status, such as yourself. But I've got a few in there, but I didn't even think about that. The speed factor. So right. I mean, heck, by the time some of those ETH guys get in there and hit the button, then they might be gone already.
But the queue, so what Patrick told me is that it's not, the purchase isn't the clock. I mean, the queue timer for meaning who's in line to get a token doesn't actually.
So if you hit submit on the site.
Yeah, as soon as you select how many you want and choose your payment method, and then click continue, it's the clicking of the continue button.
Are they still accepting
your payment?
Fiat or ACH or I forget, was it debit card? What did I pay with originally? What do we have to do then?
Yeah,
before we can pay with crypto.
Only ACH.
ACH. Are they still accepting? Are they still accepting ACH?
Absolutely, they are. Okay. But we just got alert that actually crypto payments have exceeded credit cards now.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
So that's awesome, right?
And I got a pleasant surprise on one of my properties. So it's a multi-unit property, and one of the units, the rent went from $700 to $800. And
I got that same email, Clyburn.
Right? Yeah, right. Yeah. So we're investing that one together. We're co-investors, and I was like, well, that's sweet. From like November or something like that. Like they were always going to catch up to the money. It doesn't bother me that it took them a little while. But now there's an extra, $600 or $700 in the kitty to get dispersed out to everybody. It's just a little extra play money.
It's beautiful. I love it. I love those emails over the governance vote on evictions.
Oh yeah.
Like
I've had a few, and sometimes like a fan broke or something. Which one should we go get? Yeah. So you get some of these kind of seems funny, seems meaningless, but it also at the same time makes you feel kind of like, all right, I'm a real landlord. I got decisions to make. I got important decisions to make today, regardless of the fact that you're one voice of, a couple hundred, I guess.
One of them needed a bathtub reglazed. And then what did I do? I went and I looked at videos on YouTube of how to reglaze a bathtub. So I'm actually learning a lot about home repair, just being a lofty investor.
Okay, there you go. Is there any merit to the story that one of the first properties they got in Ohio? So they started off, I think, in Tennessee, and then they went to Ohio, I think. And then this was before they asked people not to drive by or go check out the properties. And this property was tenant occupied, and they just had like 10 or 12 people like slow roll past their house one day. And they were, I'm your new landlord. I don't know if that was just like, something we had in the chat room that we told each other. And then they put out this notice that please don't visit the houses. Yes. Or if it was just one person, or what the story was.
I think that's in the T's and C's now. You're not allowed.
Yeah.
Or it's in the FAQs, right? Can we visit the property? No, you cannot. There's like hundreds of investors,
Yeah, it'd be a little confusing. Everybody showed up and said, "Oh, we just want to take a look around."
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all over the place now, though. They've really expanded, haven't they?
They have, yeah. 6 states now.
Yeah.
All right, so Michigan, Ohio, Florida, Tennessee, Idaho.
Yeah. So any plans to look at any other of these real estate investment options?
Yeah, like you're talking things like Realty, Honeybricks, Rove.
Yep.
I was thinking about doing a course, actually, like, creating a sellable online course and just kind of comparing all of them and just like, hey, if you want to get involved in tokenized real estate, here's all your options. And I would do like a pros and cons of each of them and whatnot.
Yeah.
And,
that's good.
Kind of
There's quite a few on Algorand too. There's Pocket Properties that's out there.
Yeah.
Vesta Equity, I think.
Okay. There's even one from Vancouver, Canada. You can get they have $1 ownership stake, Monty, $1.
A $1 ownership stake, huh?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one. There's one called House, HAUS, or maybe it's HAAS, something like that.
Okay. There must be like 15 available right now, right?
Yeah,
there's a lot of them are still in approval stage. Like, Lofty was like first to market. Well, if they're not first, best to market, the only ones that kind of lasted so far.
Yeah. And they've got a lot of interesting media coverage as well. Let's see. Do you own the apartment building? Depending on how much you invest, how does Lofty work? Go ahead, Terry. You could take this one, I guess. Give him a Lofty primer.
Yeah. For example, if the property is $100,000, we'll use that for simple math, and it's divided by $50 fractional shares. So that's 2,000 tokens. And each individual investor is allowed to own up to 15%. That's a maximum you can own of any one property. So yes, I mean, what they do is they will buy the property with cash, and they will create an LLC, so a limited liability company in the US. And they were saying they will create the name of the LLC based on the name of the property. So if it's like 1248 Keeler, it'll be 1248 Keeler Investments LLC. And then they'll say, well, who are the partners in the LLC? And it's like, well, no specific names, but it's based on token ownership. So depending, your ratio of ownership is based on however many tokens that you have of the property. So if it ever got sold, let's say it goes up to $200,000 in value, and there's governance votes, and we vote to sell the property and take the profits, then yeah, however many tokens you'd have that you bought for $50, you'd be able to sell for $100.
Right.
Or when the property is sold again, they'd be dispersed to the members. Plus, you're also getting daily rental income.
One of the great things I love about this model is that they don't have to take out a mortgage. So the investors put up the cash. So you're essentially a cash buyer. So you go in and you don't have to pay any of your rent back to the mortgage. So your net profit is significantly higher than if you were paying a lender, 5% interest on the money that you had to borrow. So there's no differential. So the profit margin is that much better.
True. But there is one disadvantage of that. With leverage, of course, you can own more property than what you could afford to pay from your initial capital, which a lot of users are, we're trying to find creative ways how to do that through Algify and whatnot.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But I initially thought that Lofty might hit a cap pretty early on. They hit $1 million, they hit 2 million, and I was like, well, that's got to be like the cap, how much fiat does the Algorand community have to keep putting into properties? And they just keep blowing past it. I don't know what they're up to now. Right. Now they sell out of houses like, seems like 2 or 3 a week. It seems like, they've been moving along in a really fast clip. Who's out of the money until tokens? So yeah.
Who is out the money? Oh, well, the seller. I mean, I think in the agreement with the seller, they agree on the price, and then they create the LLC, and then they will decide how many tokens based on the dollar value. And then when the tokens are, I guess Lofty will maybe front the cash until, right? I guess they would do that.
Oh,
and then
Lofty they do. You buy the property from Lofty's entity, right?
That's right. Yeah.
And Lofty's also they are also the managers. Right, so they're the property manager. Oh no, I guess they oversee the property management.
They're a marketplace. Right? They keep stressing they're a marketplace, right?
Yeah,
they don't actually do any management. It's the actual governance. The owners of the tokens do all the governance voting.
Right, and they hire separate property managers based on locality.
That's right. Yeah. So they're just they're just a marketplace. And I think the reason they have to stress this point is about the keeping that last peg of the Howey test, right?
Yeah. Okay.
To stay clear of it being a security.
It's still kind of a gray area. They are testing the boundaries of what they can and can't do, but nobody's told them not to yet. And if you read it, they said, okay, we're prepared to file a Reg D, I think it is. If we need to, if they tell us we have to, but we don't want to. And if we do, then it'd be admitting that we needed to, but we don't want to. So we're going to keep on like this until somebody slaps us on the wrist. And they're either going to get a slap on the wrist or they're going to get a letter that says, no, you're good. What do they call that? Yeah. Right. And, they at this point, they've garnered enough attention. They've got to be on somebody's radar. I got to feel like if they were going to get called out in the carpet, they would have already. SEC seems to be moving pretty fast on crypto blockchain projects that are, crossing the line.
I mean, I wouldn't call Lofty a crypto project.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have their own token. They don't have their own cryptocurrency token. They don't even have their own utility token, right?
Yeah, they just accept crypto as payment now, and their LLC is fractionalized on. Well, I guess it wasn't even fractionalized on chain.
Of measurement. That's more of a unit of measurement. You're not actually really. The token cannot be. You can't buy anything. You can't buy a loaf of bread with a Lofty token.
Yeah. And I think if you locked your wallet up, since you have they KYC'd you, they know who you are on their dashboard. I'm pretty sure they would still pay out even if I locked my wallet up, or they'd figure it out.
Yeah, some way, somehow.
Yeah, interesting. Well, I mean, the model works though so far. We got folks like you who are making a passive income there and have enough to see, on a monthly basis, how much you can pull out and how much you can reinvest. And now it's just it's that upward spiral as your portfolio grows.
Yeah, yeah. It's almost every day. The number increases. How much I'm getting on my daily rental income. Number go up.
How often do they reassess the value?
Every month. Actually,
every
in
month.
4 more days. On the 28th is when we usually get new FMVs, fair market valuation updates.
Okay. Have they been pretty consistent now? Like you're probably like you're the equivalent of the Lofty index at this point in time. How your portfolio is how Lofty is doing, right? So have you noticed appreciation drifting at all? I mean, U.S. housing market is in theory slowed down a little bit, but I'm not sure if it has in the
yeah. I mean, if I could just give you an idea, out of the 102 properties that I own, probably half of them have updates. And out of those half, so 50 something, maybe only 3 of them. There's only 1 in the red right now. Okay. There have been some months where like maybe 2 went in the red, but then the following month it was back in the green again. So, I mean, I would say it's still appreciating.
Okay.
I'm curious to see. I mean, it's always a 1 month lag, right? I mean, the reporting, it's backwards looking as opposed to forward looking.
Yeah, right. Because it's telling you what was it valued at, and it's not a fortune teller there.
That's right.
Although if it ends up being a fortune teller at some point, let me know so I can get in then. All right. So Algo Nice wants to know how do they get some properties out in Nashville? I don't know. The AI system's got to tell Max and team and Patrick to go buy a house in Nashville, huh?
I'm sure they have contacts there because they said they're working in areas where they have boots on the ground. So they do have people that they're working with that will source out. There's buyers there.
Yeah.
In that area, they know the market well.
So it's Lofty.ai, and that's they've got the artificial intelligence. But I don't know if how that actually works. Do you have any idea, any insight on what's
There's
their
a whole bunch
algorithms?
Of inputs. So they take a look at they scour through social media, that I know for sure. And then what other data they can feed into it, maybe from MLS, if there's anything from the the realtor pipes that can come in. Yeah. And they're just trying to find neighborhoods, not necessarily houses per se, but neighborhoods that are appreciating above and beyond the national average. So that's kind of what they're targeting.
Okay.
Neighborhoods that are gentrifying, one of the things is how many Teslas were spotted in this area. How many, how much avocado toast was sold in this area.
Yeah. Things like that. Excellent. All right. Kevin's got another question here. Do you think Lofty's going to lower the 5% AI fee or the LLC monthly fee at any point in time?
I don't think they should. I think they earn every bit of it. And I'd like it to even. So a lot of people had a problem with vacancy reserves, but I actually love it. I'm okay with them taking a little bit more off the top if it doesn't affect my daily cash payout.
Are they doing a 2-month reserve or a certain percentage? What's their reserve?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I think it was 2%. So what would that be on a year?
Oh, that's pretty low.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's real low. I mean, 1 month would be like 8% or something like that, I think.
Okay, yeah. So they're only doing 2%. Maybe it only covers them for a couple weeks, 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah. How do they source property managers? Oh, that's a good question because they're all over the nation now. They're in how many states? 6 states or 7 states or something, huh?
Yeah. I think 6 by my last estimation.
6 states, yeah. I don't know how they source property managers.
Well, they had the one they were working with before. They had one before was just horrible. Tenants were leaving and they would not even know. The rent was stopped being paid and they wouldn't know till 2 months after the fact. It's like,
oh, that's terrible. That happened to me on a property that I owned personally in Arizona. I got a call that rent stopped getting paid. And the neighborhood kids had turned my house into a skate park. They had drained my pool, tagged up my entire house. They were using it for a flop house. This was in Phoenix is where this was, right near a skate park in Phoenix. And I had to get the cops in there and clear out the place. It was a hot mess. I was living in Hawaii at the time, so it's not like I couldn't just cruise by the house. Right. Yeah. and my property manager clearly wasn't doing his job. So, that was difficult. So I've had some trials and tribulations managing properties. That's why I like Lofty, because Lofty goes and finds somebody else. Presumably, they do some research. They find the location, the areas where that's not likely to happen, and you got some safety there, and you're diversified. So for me, that was one of 2 houses I owned at the time. So half of my income just went away, right? You own 100 and some odd houses and $50 increments. You got a whole bunch of them, but still, if one house, was vacated, and a couple are right now, right? There's a couple that are behind or something. Yeah. But it's a small percentage.
Yeah. I mean, if you only bought one property and you're the unfortunate person that had tenant issues in that one property, you have zero income. Yeah. But for me, it's only lowering like I said, 14 cents out of $24, which I think is like 0.06 of a percent.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
Hardly affecting me.
I would be remiss if I didn't mention to you the company that I work with. So my night job, my night job is hanging out, having conversations and cool interviews. But my day job is VP of sales for a company called Nada. And we have a product called City Funds, which is real estate investing by city. So we have Houston, Austin, and Miami right now, or pardon me, Dallas, Austin, and Miami. And it's fractional home ownership. So we, instead of buying the whole property, we go in and we buy like, $10,000, $30,000 share from homeowners. It's primary occupancy for them. So they're taking care of the home. They just need some extra cash for whatever reason. They want to put in a pool or solar or, start up a business during COVID or something, right? And so we say, okay, we'll buy 10% of your house. And instead of buying one house and dividing it up between a couple hundred people, we take a couple of hundred houses and buy 10% shares in all of those houses and then pool those together as a city fund. An interesting concept. So if you feel like diversifying into some cities, go check it out.
How do you then, what's it say in the deed, Monty? Like, how do you get your Nada onto the deed of these houses?
So, so it's a fund. So it's a city fund. So you are an investor through an LLC. City funds, we have a whole series of LLCs. And then we have a management company. We have an investing arm as well. And so it's a second lien, essentially, is what it is. We could accelerate, possessory rights if we needed to, or foreclosure rights if we needed to. But just like any other second lien, we are subordinate to the primary lien holder. So this, in all likelihood, the person has a first mortgage.
So for the homeowner, it's similar to like a HELOC, right? For them, it's just...
Yep, except it's got 0 monthly payments and 0 interest because it's not a loan. We're actually a co-investor in your house with you.
Okay. God, that's the difference then. It's all right.
That's the difference.
It's just so Nada only collects at the time of sale.
Correct. Or there's a couple of other triggers. So there's a 10-year lifespan, or if you refinance your house, you'd have to pay us off. So something like that would trigger it. But it's good for those people who are like self-employed or have passive income. Maybe, such as yourself, it might be difficult to document, tax returns, that kind of thing. People don't want to jump through those hoops and say, well, I don't want to have to deal with that. Just give me my money.
Right. And so Nada would be a perfect solution for that.
Nada would be a perfect solution for those folks.
Right on.
Yeah. So it's there's just a slight twist on, that fractionalization. We just spun it on its head just a little bit.
Oh, that's amazing. I like that concept. What type of returns can you get then? Like for the investor like myself, if I want to put in, I don't know, $1,000, $2,000, $5,000.
Yeah. So we're aiming for 8 to 12%. So it's still a decent return. It's not crypto returns, but it's also not a crypto risk, right?
Okay. And that's
so we're
just
not collecting
based
rent.
on the appreciation. Like, how do we? Where's our 8 to 12% come from?
So we're based on appreciation. We have some origination fees baked in there as well. So when you originally take it out, we collect some fees up front. So like if you want $30,000,
the investors,
that's immediately paid back to the investors.
Okay. Right away. I like that. Okay.
That's paid back. So we collect a healthy amount up front. And because we figure, hey, it might not be 10 years until we sell that property or do anything else with it.
Yeah, no one wants to wait that long.
Yeah.
I can barely wait till like 5:30 p.m. PST every day.
Right. So we had to get something up front.
I like that.
But you know what? Secondary market's on the way. So kind of like Lofty's doing. It'll take a little while to hit the marketplace, but pretty soon you should be able to trade cities like stocks.
That's awesome. I'm going to look into that.
What's the website?
Nada.com, you said?
Nada.co, Nada.co.
.co, okay.
Mm-hmm.
NAVA. Is that an acronym for something?
So if you if you buy a house with us, you pay Nada for your mortgage fees. So we cover all the costs for your mortgage.
I get it.
So we started off as a traditional real estate and mortgage house, and then vertically integrated and worked our way into the investment stuff. But it's a lot of fun. I was actually I found them. I was an investor initially. They started on a platform called Republic, which is same place like Opulus. Raised funds there. That's how I found the company, and I said, "Well, this is really interesting. I want to be a part of it." And then I just joined and came up with some cool ideas and threw in my 2 cents.
Similar to how O'Day joined the Lofty team, right? He sold the house to them. They were so impressed with him, they hired him.
Yeah, right. So that's one of these great connections it's made through business. You just never know. Like your next client could be your next, partner, employee, or vendor, or who knows. All right, let's see. We got a few more comments here. All right, so Kevin's got. Kevin's an OG as well. Huh? He's not doing too bad. 41 properties, making $6.50 a day. Now that Algo's so low, I'm putting the daily rent into Algo. Yeah, not a bad move there, right?
Yep.
I tell you what, real estate investments during the dip looking pretty good, right? You retained a good portion of your net value because it was in real estate. In fact, it went up slightly over the last 60 days versus all of your compadres, everybody else in the Algorand community and largely in the crypto community didn't do so well the last 60 days.
Yeah, some people are buying Algo at the top at $2.
Oh yeah,
and now they've lost 75% of their value, right? A little bit more than that.
I bought in at 32 cents. And, at one point, I was up a whole bunch. I cashed out just a little bit because profit is profit. But, I'm back down to that point where, I bought a little on the way. If you dollar cost averaged, I'm probably pretty close to my break-even point. I lost track a little bit, a few months ago, but it's probably right around there for me right now.
Awesome. Good. That's good. I was a little bit fortunate that I got in June 2020 when, XRP was 20 cents.
Yeah.
Cardano ADA was 11 cents, somewhere there. Ethereum I paid $300 for.
Oh, $300 for ETH. All right.
Yeah, I remember buying a Bitcoin for 11,000.
Yeah, I got in 17, and XRP was the first token that got the juices flowing from it. So I bought in October of 2017 or something like that, and sold in January of 18, and made a boatload.
It got as high as what, 340 or something, right?
Yeah. I didn't sell right at the top, but I sold I like 12x or 15x or something like that, significantly, improve my portfolio. And at that point in time, it was just buddies around the office. It was just gamified. Everybody was on Binance, during their breaks, try not to let somebody see, okay, what's going on there? Okay, who comparing at the end of the day, okay, what did you make? What trades did you make? And it just seemed like fun and games then. And then crypto winter came. And everybody else sort of pulled out at various points in time, but I doubled down. I legitimately closed out my 401k, transferred it all in, bought as much as I possibly could, and I was very risky. I wouldn't recommend this for anyone else, but I was not risk adverse. I was very bought into it, and I sold Bitcoin at $60,000. And so I had a trigger. That was my number. It was 60,000. Sold it all at 60,000. And now I think back. Yeah, it went higher than 60.
Are you buying more at 29?
I'm not buying any more Bitcoin at this point in time. So I'm saving it for a few specific projects that are on the horizon here. So I've got a whole lot of USDC I'm sitting on right now.
Okay, well, better USDC than USDT.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. A healthy amount of Algo, of course, a few other ASAs. Yieldly, I still have a significant amount of Yieldly.
Terra Luna?
I did not.
Okay.
Yeah, luckily I haven't actually bought any other cryptos outside of the Algorand ecosystem in well over a year.
Okay.
So I have consolidated down just at the Algorand ecosystem.
Tell me,
a few ASAs
please,
here and there.
Your reasons, Monty, why you feel Algorand is better than any other blockchain and project right now.
Oh, well, it's pretty easy. So I'm an environmentalist. So, I figure I'm going to speak with my dollars and find a blockchain that is carbon negative. And so the carbon negative aspect of Algorand really appealed to me early on. And then it was just the other stuff just kind of piled on. The fact that they've never been down, they'll never fork. The cost of transaction is super duper low, and they're how quick it is. And then we're talking about the team, Silvio and team, just well put together, thought out. And I thought, well, there's a lot of good teams out there, but there's not a lot of good teams out there that also have the carbon negative stuff that I'm looking for.
Right. Well, doesn't XRP, I mean, isn't that one of their selling points? They're like 67,000 times more energy efficient than Bitcoin.
Yeah, but they're still not carbon negative. And I like XRP. Then they got in trouble with the whole lawsuit stuff and some of their tokenomics, and I was like, all right, I'll go. One of the guys, Michael B from the XRP community, actually turned me on to Algorand initially in the Twitterverse. Okay. So if anybody knows Michael B out there,
compare Silvio to Charles Hoskinson.
Who
do you like better and why?
He's quiet but carries a big stick compared to right. He's not nearly as vocal, but he is every bit as energized when you see him speak on something that he is passionate about. And he's very articulate. He doesn't press the boundaries nearly as much as Charles does. He likes to stir the pot, and he really knows how to he knows how to get the community like up and going and at arms and really kind of rile the troops up. Silvio doesn't have that rah mentality. Gotcha. But he definitely does have something about him that people are drawn to, and it's just his quiet confidence, I think.
Quiet confidence. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And he knows how to like surround himself with a good team. Not that Charles doesn't.
What other ASAs are you involved in with Algorand?
Oh, well, I mean, I've been a fan of Yieldly for quite a long time. I still have quite a bit of Yieldly.
Didn't they have some problems? Is there some issues?
Well, they've had a ton of problems. They've had a ton of problems, but I'm still a fan. I'm still sticking with them. They were one of the original DeFi folks. They did a lot of staking. They did a lot of good for the community and helped a lot of other projects grow. Some of it's come back to haunt them because their tokenomics, I think, got out of hand, and they've had some developers come and go, and they've had a few, snafus. And I'm hopeful that they will make a comeback because they've got a marketplace that they're about to launch, a metaverse project. They've been working with some esports teams. They got a lot in the works, so I'm still hopeful that they make a good comeback.
Is the token price a buy right now? A buy, sell, or hold?
I would say it is. It's about as low as I've ever seen it. I don't think it can actually go lower. So now that I've said that, though, I better knock on something. But it's
could it go to zero though? Is there a possibility it could go to zero?
No, absolutely not. They have been around, and they've got a war chest. They're well funded. They could go on for quite a while without even selling another token. They don't need the token to do particularly well, but the fact that they don't need it to doesn't mean that they don't want it to. Okay. And so they're building in the background. It's like 0.0018. I think the last time I looked at it.
Okay. So less than a penny.
Less than a penny. Yes.
Okay.
So a little less than 0.2 of a penny right now. And I think it's been as high as 3 pennies, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Interesting. Okay.
Oh, look, Gino's still big on Yieldly too. So I'm hopeful for a future burn mechanism that comes into place there. Katie wants to know about SHIB. Katie, thanks for joining on LinkedIn. We get a lot of folks on the LinkedIn channel, but I appreciate you hopping in there. I don't know, Terry, do you got any thoughts on SHIB?
I used to hold SHIB.
Did you? Did you make some money on it?
A little bit, and then I sold a little bit at a loss as well. I didn't play with too many dollars in SHIB, but I had this was going back, I guess, before November. I think things started to crash after November, right? November, December 2021 was kind of all-time highs around anywhere from April to November. The kid came onto my stream. He just got into crypto, and he had bought some SHIB, and he's like, should I buy more? And I was like, there's like 580,000 wallets own SHIB at this time. And I said, I kind of explained the math to him, like what it needed to do to grow from here. And I said, it's virtually impossible. And then it went up to like over 700,000.
Then it did. Yeah.
The price 2 or 3x on top of that. And I had egg on my face, but he held it. He held and bought more despite my warnings. And he made an extra,
I'll show you.
Yes.
All
So
right, good for
Good
him.
for him. But yeah, I'm not into any. The only meme coin I'm in is, if you could call MM million token a meme coin.
Oh yeah. We're talking about that one. No, you didn't get into Doge, huh?
I have some Doge. I've got, I think, what, 1,000 Doge left, just to kind of, I'll take that to zero, or I'll take it to however
Right.
far
You're just
Elon wants
holding
to
on to
take
it
it.
as a trophy now at this point, huh?
Trophy, yeah, yeah.
All right. I bought some on a now defunct exchange called something with a crypt. It was a currency or an exchange out of New Zealand. They're Cryptopia. That's what it was called. Cryptopia.
Okay.
It's been out of business now for like 2 years or 3 years or something like that. So they went out, maybe 19. They went out of
Why are you
business. They
buying
got
at a New
hacked.
Zealand exchange? Do you live in the Southern Hemisphere?
No. They were trading another token that I used to trade with called Electronium.
Okay.
And Electronium wasn't listed in a whole bunch of different places. But I was a big Electronium fan. If you're not familiar with Electronium, it's the British Bitcoin kind of a deal. Now they've got the British pound with XRP, actually, as a matter of fact. So they partnered with XRP for the British pound. So they're working on that project together. Anyway, they were listed on an exchange in New Zealand called Cryptopia. And Electronium was there, and Doge was there, and I was just like, all right, I'll play around with this. I had some dust to move, and I bought some, and then I was like, this isn't doing anything. What is this? I'm gonna get rid of it. And then I sold it all, got rid of it. And I might have still had some on the exchange, but it got hacked and they went out of business. So that's my Doge story. That's it. Not very exciting.
So you might have lost something on the exchange.
I definitely lost a few things on the exchange, but it wasn't heartbreaking. Have you been in part of any exchanges that were hacked or anything? Any kind of a
good friend of mine got involved in Quadrica a few years ago. That guy who had like some Crohn's disease or something and died in India apparently.
And he had all I don't know about this one.
Yeah, Quadrica CX. It was a Canadian exchange, and there's a lot of controversy around it because.
Wait, and he died, and nobody knows where his code or his passwords or passphrases are. Right,
he had the keys, and apparently some complications from Crohn's disease, and then he was vacationing in India, but they think his death was staged.
Right, but they monitor the wallet, right? Nothing's moved.
Yeah, nothing apparently. Yeah, I stopped following a couple months ago, but yeah, it was an interesting story.
Yeah, and that was a couple of years ago. So that's your closest call with any kind of scam operations or anything like that.
Yeah, my good friend of mine, my business partner in the Investing Nomads channel, Greg, he's had his MetaMask hacked.
Okay.
Luckily for me, I haven't lost anything. Yeah, cross my fingers as well too. Touch wood, all that sort of stuff. Yeah,
you got to stay safe out there. I was in 2017. We were doing a lot of just crazy ICOs, and of my 2017 ICOs. One of them is still in business, and happens to be that one, Electronium. So they haven't mooned. It's still worth.
What exchange are they trading on now if they're not with Kryptonium anymore?
I think KuCoin is probably the biggest one that they're on.
Okay, so you were able to transfer them over to KuCoin?
Yes, yeah. Well, and I held offline as well, so they've got their own offline wallet. So I hold in my Electronium wallet. But you can trade on KuCoin, probably a few other places too. But at this point in time, I stopped checking regularly, and it's just something I'm holding on to. And I'm like, all right, if that one hits, it hits. Yeah. I got a few of those in my back pocket. That
it only takes one, right? Like venture capital, right? You only need one Uber.
Yeah. And at this point in time, the investment money went in 2017. It's not like I miss it anymore. So it's it's just kind of sitting there, and it's I don't know. It's the Hail Mary. We'll see what happens. All right. So what else we got here? XLM. Any thoughts on XLM?
I've had it before. I don't trust. Oh my gosh! So long ago I talked about him. Jared, what is his name? Judd McCaleb. Jed McCaleb.
Yeah, Jed. Yeah,
Jed McCaleb. Yeah, he's got one of those funny names. Yeah, I mean, he was one of the original creators of XRP.
Right.
Now he was involved with Mt. Gox, right? Before he sold it to Mark, whatever his name is. And I have a feeling there's no proof of it at all, but I have a feeling he was the one that hacked it after he sold it to Mark.
Oh, that's my all right. Yeah, I mean, he's at one of the ones at the heart of the XRP lawsuit, right?
Yes. Yep. Yeah. So I think he finally got his last payment. I mean, he had a payout schedule of I don't know however many years, but he finally got his last payout.
But it was a lot, and every time he got paid, he'd dump, and people would be like, he's selling $300,000 a day or something. There was a tracker.
So I'm glad he's out, and he's a competitor, right, to XRP. So and I just don't trust him. He seems shifty to me. I have no evidence of this, Monty. It's just like I just
pure speculation. I get it.
Pure speculation, but I have a sense about people. I have a feeling about them.
All right.
I can feel like the force. I have this. It might have something to. This might be a little bit laughable for you, but I've been a massage trainer for the last 15 years before I got into crypto.
Right.
And there's a subtle energy about people that I've come to tune into, because when you're working with people, not just on a physical level, you can kind of feel a vibration to people. I don't know if this is in your wheelhouse or anything like that, or if this is just like a woo-woo science, but I have a sense about people, and he just spidey sense. He something tingles. It's like, don't trust Jen.
I mean, if your gut feeling is that, then just go with it. I did an interview with somebody that was a well-known person in the community, and I put the interview up for about maybe 45 minutes and took it down. I was like, you know what? I just can't. I don't know. There was something wrong about this interview. I didn't like it. Some of the answers didn't strike me as right, and it took a long time. This person was mad at me, but it took about I don't know, maybe 10 months until this person did a rug pull and disappeared. Yeah. Deleted all their social media handles and just.
Can I tell you something? I should tell you this offline, but I'm going to tell you in the open here. The person you had on about the Algo Turtles, the artist.
Oh, yes. Yeah. D.
Yes. I'm sure he's a wonderful human being. But there is one comment that raised a big red flag for me when he was actually in the Algo Bands chat afterwards.
Oh, okay.
And that was, someone says, they only made like 4,000 or 50,000 Algo or something like that.
Yeah.
And then his comment was, I can't say it verbatim, but something along the lines of, "Oh, if I was to do it, it'd be for a lot more."
Oh, all right. So he's thinking about it.
It's character. It's character, right? It's like, okay, what's your price? So it is in your nature. It's just we have to find the right price. And
he'd do it for 200K or 500K or something. I don't know. He's actually, I think he's going to do our background checker though. So Citrus has a background.
I hope I'm wrong about him, because I think he's beloved in the community. So I hope I'm wrong about him. But I think like that, right? I'm only a criminal for the right price. I'm only a criminal for the right price.
Yeah.
Right.
That was an interesting scenario, because number one, I didn't realize that the artist was still around and didn't skedaddle and call shenanigans and disappeared. So he's either the greatest con man and has figured, you know what, I'm going to stick around for seconds, or he really was just kind of a victim, or he didn't hit that number, or he's maybe he's jealous of the guys that got away with it.
Time will tell, right? There was a guy, I don't know if you follow Cowboys for Cryptos or Cowboys of Crypto, Aaron Mamliak. He's got his own YouTube channel, and he did one of those Q&As, AMAs with somebody, and then he was in and talking, and he said the same thing too. If I was to rug pull, it'd be out for a lot more money.
Yeah.
And then he rug pulled. So it's like, so that I know that comment can be directly associated with someone who will rug pull, right?
Wait,
so I'm not just making this up. It's like
he did an AMA with somebody who said that.
Yeah.
So it wasn't the YouTuber though. It wasn't like
it wasn't the YouTuber. It was the guy he had on as a guest.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay.
Who created a coin. Like the thing with Cowboys of Crypto is he does like a fake interview, not a fake because he's open about it, but he'll do an interview like it's a grill, like a Q&A session, but really it's a paid sponsorship because the guy has to pay to be there.
Yeah.
And they just make it seem like Aaron, the Cowboy of Crypto, is interrogating him and saying, "Is this the good coin to invest in? Let's find out. We're going to ask him all the tough questions."
Oh, got it. Okay. Yeah. All right, but it's they schedule that ahead of time. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that that guy D is the real deal. We'll see. But we did start doing business verifications and global verifications. So folks that don't want to dox for various reasons, some of them work for big corporations and they're worried about their IP going somewhere, but they want to be legitimized, and so they will come to us and say, "Hey, Monty, will you verify us?" And so we have a third-party doxing service. It's just a background checker is really it is. Same one you'd use for like a corporate employment type of situation, that verifies who they are, what their resume is, what their education is, and make sure they are who they are and they're not criminals. and then that information is shared with our with one point of contact, and we can log in and view it. So we don't actually hold any of the information. So it's not like we could get hacked and dox everybody. And so far so good. I've got 4 projects that have used that service now. I don't know if it's a perfect solution, but at least it's something. Right. So we've got information on 4 individuals, 3 actually. We've got the 4th one is pending. And so if law enforcement was ever like, hey, Monty, I need this information, I would have it.
Hopefully that keeps them honest in the first place, that they don't do anything, but knowing the fact that, hey, my information's out there, so if I do mess up, I can be found. So that could be a deterrent.
Yeah.
And if it's not a deterrent, at least you have some sort of recourse after the fact.
Yeah. I don't want to do business with somebody said this the other day. I don't want to do business with anybody I can't sue or take to court for whatever reason, right? True. I think it was after the Algorand rug that they said they dropped that, and they said, okay, no more. If I don't know who they are, if I can't get to them legally, then I don't want to do business with them.
And that was one of the reasons why we created the Investing Nomads channel. Like we profess that we are the most honest and transparent cryptocurrency education channel in all of YouTube. And like my partner, Greg Hung, he's fully doxed. We created our own cryptocurrencies too, the Nomad and the Inchcoin, and they went to $1 million in value on a $20,000.
Sweet.
Paper money only, right? But then we had a no rug pull guarantee. We actually time locked our founders' tokens, etc. as well too. But yeah,
everybody assumes once you mint a token or something, you're instantly crypto rich and you're a millionaire. Yeah. But it doesn't actually work like that.
No, because as soon as you try to sell it, right? As soon as you try to sell it, the price just plummets, right? So you can never sell all your tokens at the top price. You're lucky if you can get maybe 5 or 10%, but they're still sitting in my wallet. There's still liquidity pools. You could still trade our tokens if you want.
Yeah, go get it. We've got one too. We've got the nerd token that's out there. It's a loyalty token. Every once in a while, we got some airdrops that go out to them, or it'll get used in our launchpad activities and that kind of thing. At this point,
price with it right now? Is there?
Yep, it's trading for. I want to say it was about the same price as Yieldly. Okay. Let's take a look. We've got nerd right here. It's trading for. Survey says.
Did you create that on Algorand?
Uh-huh.
Okay, ours were ERC20s on Ethereum.
I'll see if I can screen share that.
Fees were just horrible.
Yeah,
fees were probably one of the biggest detriments to our project. That and the British Columbia Securities and Exchange Commission said, we think you're a security.
Oh, okay. That's a bummer. There's
could have bought it, but
it's tough to see. But we're trading at 0.8 of a, not even 0.8 of a penny. That's 0.000852, right? We got a bunch of reds except for the most recent iteration there.
Okay. So what would drive the price either up or down for this thing? What is the purpose of it?
So predominantly it's a loyalty token, and it'll get you access to other projects. Okay. So we've got a launch pad called Algo Fund that'll launch next month. So we're helping other projects launch, and it's a reservation system and like a VIP access. So if you hold a certain amount of nerd, then you can reserve access. You've got allocations. Okay, so
they have to hold them. They can't sell. Or they can't be exchanged for these other things.
There's no vesting period. So as long as you hold it really at the time until the end of the IDO, you're good.
Okay.
But afterwards, if you stake your nerd tokens, most of our new projects have signed up to get staking pools. So if you stake nerd, you'll earn XYZ token, the new projects that come up on board.
Okay.
So if you're a loyal fan of the nerd, channel, then you can stake the nerd coins and get rewarded with, new.
Could nerd ever moon? What would be the circumstances on which nerd would just moon and people could make a 10x on their investment?
Is Mark Cuban watching, or Elon Musk? If they want to tweet about it, then that might make it happen, right? If he started taking nerd at the Mavericks games, we'll be all right.
Okay, I got you. Speculation like every other crypto, right?
yes. Until then, we'll just call it a loyalty token, and
that's the more we call those education tokens, but the BC Securities and Exchange Commission didn't care. Like, no,
they shut you down, huh?
Yeah, I mean, we documented everything. Like in every one of our videos, I said this is not an investment.
Yeah.
When you're buying this, know that there's risk associated. We're not. Which way do we say it? This is for entertainment purposes only. The only reason we created this cryptocurrency is so people could learn about liquidity pools, market dynamics,
Yeah.
Like we were just documenting every life cycle from inception to actual creating it to creating liquidity. Everything was done on a live stream.
Yeah.
And it was just to show what happens behind the scenes with cryptocurrencies. And what did we say? It was just like we pulled the curtain wide open so everybody could see.
Interesting. Yeah. Ours in the, in the description or whatever that you have when you created it, it says that, no cash value. It's made as a loyalty token for watchers of the channel, that sort of thing. And so, I mean, there's open source dexes that, people trade on, there's liquidity pools and that kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, you can say that, but they could still say, well, if people can sell it, then there is a cash value.
Yeah, that's true. But I guess people could technically sell Chuck E. Cheese tokens. It's just, I don't know how much what it's worth to somebody who's outside of the community. Probably not a lot.
I found out that you can buy pop can tabs 10,000 at a time on eBay.
Oh, see, you can buy some crazy stuff.
Are those a currency?
Yeah. So
it was interesting because the BC SEC, they said, well, you're as soon as you trade, well, sorry, you could buy our tokens with USDC on Ethereum, right? And one of our excuses was, do you recognize USDC as a currency?
Huh.
And they wouldn't answer that because they say you're trading one currency for another. And I say, well, only if you recognize USDC as a cryptocurrency, which they couldn't say, of course, right? They can't recognize stable coins. So anyways, but they didn't like our argument, and we could have fought it, and the project could still be going, but it was taking a lot of pressure on it was a lot of stress,
Yeah, no doubt.
So holders they're relentless, they're ruthless. They want you to pump your coins. I don't know if they do that in the nerd community, but they're, hey, I bought your token, and why is it going?
Yeah, when moon? Can the devs do something?
Exactly. Yeah, can you do something? Can you spend thousands of your dollars on advertising? So they can cash out.
It needs some more utility for that. So let me ask you. So your crypto travels. Are you actually a nomad? Have you traveled around a bunch? Are you? What's the current status of the Terry? Crypto.
If you got 5 minutes, I'm going to share with you an incredible fun story that's going to surprise you. You've probably never heard.
All right, let's do it.
So my prior life, I was a massage trainer for the last 15 years. I had a massage training company all across Canada. It actually took me around the world. I've been on 5 continents in, 22 different countries. I taught Dubai, Dubai, South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, all over the world. Anyway, so I decided when I got to Thailand, massage in Thailand was so cheap, and I wanted to do something memorable, kind of as a marketing initiative. I said, let's create a world record in massage. And at the time, there's like the longest massage. There's the most people in one room doing massage at a time, but nobody had ever created a massage world record. The most people massaging one client at the same time. So I called it the 100-hour massage.
Okay.
The 100-hour massage. And I was going to get as many people as could fit around my body. And I actually have a video I'll share with you later. And the most I got was 19 people.
Okay.
They basically 19 people massaged me in different positions for 6 hours, and you add up all the total man hours or person hours, and it was 100 hours. So that was my thing. But in order to do this, I needed a videographer. I was in Thailand at the time, and I just did videographer Bangkok English speaking. And Greg Hung, my business partner, came up. He was from Vancouver. He was in Bangkok at the time. I said, "Awesome, he's the guy for me." We met for coffee, and he was like, you want to do what? You want me to do what? Video? You're going to do a massage world record? He didn't believe it. He thought I was full of BS, right? But then when I had money in my hand, here's the deposit, and I'll give you 33% now, 33% when your crew shows up, and 33% after the edits are done.
Wow. Okay.
But in that time, he's a true digital nomad because he's a videographer living in Bangkok. He was doing commercials and any type of video event for corporates, and he also had courses on GoPro. He had courses on video editing, and he was selling all these online. And he says to me, just kind of, "Hey Terry, you should think about creating a massage course and selling it online, and then you can get a little taste of this lifestyle that I'm doing." And I'm like, "Okay, let's do it. Let's create a course together." We did. 2 years later, I got married and had a baby in the interim. Then we created a course on there's 2 of my massage courses out there that you can buy online. So that's how I
dabbled in some online courses with mixed results.
I'm not making a mint, but
yeah. Every once in a while, somebody signs up for them, and all right, that's okay. I've been thinking about putting together the crypto one. I think you mentioned it earlier. Putting together like a crypto 101 type of a training or online course, something on demand. I think that is definitely needed out there. And there's a lot of folks that just charge too much for that kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah. I think you can buy our course on Udemy for like $9.99. You can buy our massage shoulder rehabilitation course or our cryptocurrency for beginners course.
Yeah.
10 or $12.
Yeah, that's a little more reasonable, I think. All right. Well, as far as your next moves, do you see yourself, doubling down on Lofty? Are you going to get to, $180,000 or $200,000 in Lofty? Or are you just going to keep going?
I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going.
Yeah.
My only source of income right now, though, and maybe I can help you help me, and you can help me help you, is like we're both YouTubers, we're influencers. It's kind of like a part-time gig for us.
Yeah.
And we have about the same subscriber base. I think you have a little bit more than me. I think you're 2.4 thousand. I'm 1.8.
Yeah,
close. And I thought, this would be a great collab. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to pick your brain a little bit and say, hey, how do you grow your YouTube channel, and how are you monetized? What are you doing in that regard?
I hardly make anything as far as YouTube goes. Mostly I use YouTube for awareness, and really it wasn't a business to start with. It was just me kind of hopping on, and I didn't see anybody else doing it at the time. And I thought, well, I don't want anybody else to get scammed. Let me get on here and explain some stuff to some folks and call out the scammers when I see them and let them know what the real projects are and give people the news as I saw it. And I just started doing it, and I got some positive feedback. I started doing it some more, and then I started making connections, and then now I'm thoroughly involved in the community. Got to speak at some of the events, and I know some of the
you had a round table with a guy named Coop, right? A bunch of people on one of your last episodes, and Coop was one of the people that interviewed Stacy. So you're only like, what are you, like one degree away from Stacy, right?
Yes. So Coop and I actually we did a crypto coffee with Coop and crypto on Sundays. I think we're going to change it to cocktails. I don't know. We're trying to figure out. Schedules are tough.
It's a catchier name.
Yeah. I think Coop and I started about the same time. And so we've got similar connections, I think. And we go to a lot of the events. Oddly enough, though, we seem to alternate which events we go to. I went to Decipher. He couldn't make it. I went to New York City for their Times Square shutdown. He couldn't make it. He went to Austin, but I couldn't make it. And so we transfer off and on. I'm in Dallas. He's in Southern California somewhere.
Okay, right.
But yeah, there's a bunch of us that are kind of making the rounds there. He probably is making a little more money on YouTube because he does it full time, and he's sponsored by Headline. I haven't gone with a sponsored route. I've never taken any money to have anybody on the channel or anything like that.
Are you monetized though for Google AdSense?
Yes, I am monetized that way. But it's like a penny a view or something like that, right? It's not much. How I've decided to make a business is I've made connections. I've interviewed folks, and I thought, okay, well, out of all the people I know, I can create partnersip. So I've got
I agree with you. The connections are invaluable that the people you meet through being being out there.
That's my entryway into the business side of things here. Algo Fund is a launch pad. We partnered with them to run their sales team. So if you're a new project out there, if you happen to be watching your new project and you want to launch on Algorand, find me. We handle all the sales for Algo Fund, which will be going live next month. They just finished their audits. We've got 2 projects kind of lined up now, and so we make commissions when a new project goes live there. We have another website called Citrus that is like citrus, like the fruit, but it's trust at the end. That does verifications, and we've got about 200 projects that have signed up there now, and so it's kind of like Yelp for Algorand. And so Terry will be able to go there and say, I'm interested in real estate on Algorand and Pocket Properties, Vesta, Rove, because Rove does a little bit of stuff on Algorand. Nada will show up, and you'll be able to give them feedback and say, okay, I really like Lofty. Let me give them a positive feedback and give them a couple of thumbs up, and their trust factor will rise. And so we're thinking, okay, companies kind of like Yelp will want to be listed there and claim their profiles. And that is our entryway there into monetization. So it's not really the channel, the news that gets monetized. It's the other connections that I've.
That's right. Yeah, the people you meet through that. Right. The Rolodex, as opposed to the.
Yeah. So I was able to contact these 200 people and say, okay, come sign up for my website. It's free for you. But, if, we make connections in the back end, if there's a resources button, and if you're a new project, you can hit that resource button and say, Monty, put me in touch with an attorney, or put me in touch with a Launchpad, or put me in touch with advisor services. And then,
that reminds me now, that's how I got involved in Lofty. Was the user's name was Desquid. Sorry, I couldn't remember it earlier when we were talking about it, but Desquid is his name. And so that's when the connections are everything. If it wasn't for Desquid, I never would have found Lofty.ai, and I wouldn't be chatting with you here now, I don't think, because it's like that was the domino. It was Desquid to Lofty to Algorand, right, to Algobands, to meeting you. So
see, it's a nice connection.
It is, yeah. So how do you grow your channel from here then? Like, I mean, like you said, you're more focused on the projects that are the underlying connections through then, but
yeah. So I just signed up with a PR service that books guests for you, actually.
Okay.
Offline, I'll forward that over to you if you're interested. It's called Help a Reporter Out is the one that I signed up for. And, that you send out a call for guests in a certain blockchain or area. So you'll see a considerable amount of guests on the channel here in the next few weeks revolving around real estate and blockchain. So we've got some really cool people.
It's interesting that you called it Help a Reporter Out, because one of my ideas was because somebody had written an article, an investigative journalist did an expose on Lofty. And I thought, wouldn't it be great if I had like a Meet the Press series on my channel where I would say, hey, if you cover crypto, whether it's, Cointelegraph or some of these other, places, and then just say, hey, what's the biggest story in crypto? What's the biggest, what are you excited about for the future? And just interview the interviewer, interview the reporter.
Yeah, that's a good idea there. But so far it's worked for me. So we've got folks from different blockchains though that are going to stop by. And so for me, I'm thinking, all right, well, there's a bunch of lunatics out there that need to find a new home. So I'll try and find some people from, their community. Maybe they can come in and gain audience share that way. I think the Algorand folks are, we need to grow that community in order to grow our viewership, I believe. So not that everybody in Algorand watches us, but we need to branch out and get some new audience.
Do you also promote, I mean, now that you have this platform and you're vocal and you're, people know you and recognize you and follow you, do you really promote your referrals and your affiliate links as well too? Are you maximizing utilization for that?
I definitely am not. I probably should, right? Because I've got a few of them, but we don't put them in the descriptions. I don't, even at the beginning of our videos, we don't do the typical like subscribe, hit the like button, smash that, that stuff. I get it, but I just haven't ever done that. I bet if I did, I would see significantly more growth. We were just not consistent about it, and we were not, we weren't diligent about it. And now we've got a couple of content creators. We've got a TikTok channel. I've got Lauren who does crypto news. We've got a Citrus channel as well. We've managed to keep growing and branching out, and producing news and partnering with other folks. And, I don't know, just really through word of mouth, I think. Or word.
How long did it take you to get to 2.4 thousand subscribers?
About 8 months, something along those lines.
Okay. Oh, you're fast tracking it. Good. You're doing something better than me then.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think I did a couple of videos that hit better than others, and so I did a couple of top 10 videos.
You covered?
I did top 10 reasons Algorand is the top real estate blockchain. I did top 10 reasons Algorand is going to outpace your blockchain. Oh no, top 10 reasons Algorand is the greenest crypto. And some of those top 10 videos did really, really well.
Interesting.
And started making the rounds, and the foundation retweeted them.
Is that title top 10? Is that really just one that hits really well?
The top 10 did it for me. Yeah.
Okay. Are there any top 10 videos you did that didn't have as many eyes on it?
I think they all did well. I did top 10 reasons Yieldly is going to make it. So all my top 10s, every time I do a top 10, I figure, okay, that's going to be a several thousand hit.
I'm going to relabel this top 10 reasons why I met the crypto nerd.
there you go. And you know what? So other social media channels help too. Okay. So the fact that my LinkedIn is fairly big. So I was already a business coach, not necessarily in crypto. And so my LinkedIn's got 30,000, folks in it, 28,000, I think. So that's a big push for me. I had there, and my Twitter was already fairly large as well. So I've got.
Can you do me a favor? Because I don't know, but can you pull up my LinkedIn right now and see what's up there? I think it might all be content from my multi-level marketing days with send out cards as a relationship. It's not crypto related at all. Yeah, Terry Masson.
Yeah, let's find
massage and MLM.
That's fine. Yeah. MASSON.
Yeah, double S. Yeah. Yep. MASSON.
This is the one guy I found definitely is not you.
Okay.
He's from New Jersey. Where are you? You are. I don't see you on here at all.
Maybe my full name, Terrence Masson, TERR. Sorry, not 2 R's, TERENCE. Oh, here, I can send you. Yeah, put in Terry Masson relationship marketing.
Terry Masson relationship marketing. I got appreciation and gratitude marketing. Is that you?
Yeah, that's probably it.
That's it? Okay.
I got to change that. Yeah, so you think it's good. It's
British Columbia. Is this you?
That's me.
Oh, let me
I don't know what you're looking at. I can't see your screen.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me get back over here and I'll see if I can screen share again. It's let's see. Chrome tab, Terry. There, is that you?
That's
you.
That is.
All right. So you got 500 plus connections here. I'll send you a connect. There we go.
All right, sounds good.
We're
I'm gonna rewrite that
now.
and put all my crypto stuff in there. Yeah, it's quite different than.
Hey, you were still on Vimeo at the time.
Is that still around, Vimeo?
It still is around. Yeah, not too many people do stuff with it anymore. It's good for actually coaches and businesses though. A lot of folks do private stuff on Vimeo, like corporate training stuff on Vimeo.
Now, when you said
Michael Jordan's on, let's go Algo. Thank you.
Let's go.
Keep it all in the family.
So how would you suggest I proceed then? So I have been covering the things that I know about MetaMask, Crypto.com, Lofty. These have been my main topics so far.
Mm-hmm.
And now Louis, Algo Pep, Louis Martinez.
Yeah.
He wants me to get into NFTs. And
yeah. Okay. Well, now that you got your first NFT, you got to, right?
I have to know. And I'm gonna buy one of your children's NFTs.
Go check out the Algo Dials. Thank you.
Algo Dials. I'll buy one. Yep.
I think
like
it's
supporting young
2
entrepreneurs.
Algos or something. I think they've got it out there for. So various topics. I've tried lots of different things. What the thing that got me a lot of viewership was the day-to-day news. So every day I would pop on and I would do 12 minutes of news, and I called it the Algo News. That was really the bread and butter for quite a long time.
And what was your pipeline for receiving that news? Twitter?
Yes. Yep. So I told people to hit hashtag Algo News, and then I would pop on a Twitter and I would search for hashtag Algo News. And the thing was, if you were in Twitter and you hit hashtag Algo News, you knew I was going to screen share you and call out your tweet. And so Algo Batman was probably the top news deliverer. Algo Batman would hit hashtag Algo News and everything. MJ was in there too a bunch. Michael Jordan, I'd shout him out all the time. And so I would just go through and see what people posted. And so everybody else would come up with the news. I just curated it and would just read it off in the morning and be like, okay, here's what happened. Somebody said Algo News here. Let's go see what it is. Oh, it's FIFA. All right, that's cool. Yep, Gino was there. And so, it got to be so much Algo News going on. I was like, okay, so we try to do a weekly news, and then I was doing interviews as well. And then I started 2 projects, and I'm like, all right, well, now I'm a glutton for punishment. Now I got like 2.5 startups, and I'm doing these weekly news things, and I'm doing the interviews, and occasionally we were talking about it earlier. I'm married with 4 kids, 3 still at home. I got to see them every once in a while.
Yeah,
so
true.
I was like, I guess I'll cut back on the daily videos and just do more of the interview stuff where I don't have to prep nearly as much, I guess, and figure out all the stuff. And I've got a bunch of other folks who are doing the daily news stuff now.
how does Algorand get to a point where it's like the Microsoft of blockchains?
Yeah,
what does it need to do to get there?
So mass adoption. There's been a couple of really cool panels on mass adoption. There's a couple different philosophies, right? Like one of them is, okay, it's mass adoption when it's used as a currency. It's mass adoption when it's easy to use and people don't realize it's blockchain and it's just on their phone and they hit tap and it goes. And that mass adoption for currency when you're buying goods and services, that's when it's really hit. And I was like, okay, that's a viable explanation. But somebody else was like, you know what? It's mass adoption when institutions use it and governments use it behind the scenes, like El Salvador is. Like the Bahamas are using it, like I think for their medical stuff behind the scenes. It's mass adoption when, like XRP is doing, when it's working with business to business a bunch behind the scenes.
Payment settlements.
You're right. And so that's what do they call it? Nostra accounts are gone or whatever they are.
Limiting Nostra.
Yeah, right. And so there's these different definitions of it. I like the currency one because it impacts me directly. And it feels like, okay, I get to use my algo or whatever ASA it becomes, USDC that we use. And, you know, when governments kind of adopt some type of a CBDC, that kind of a thing. But man, I think it's going to be a long road before we get there. I see a lot of utility with entertainment. I think various forms of entertainment. This LimeWire deal is big. The Napster thing is big.
That for licensing music and micro, like streaming and micro payments for the authors?
Yes, right. So they're like, okay, so we'll do like I think they're gonna do kind of like a Spotify thing where you can make your own playlist and you can buy things. You can almost like lease an NFT kind of a deal. But I know there's so much they can do with it.
Right.
And there's a couple of other companies that are kind of doing like the Netflix for blockchain. There's a couple of companies actually doing something like YouTube for blockchain. So we've got Algo's
Holochain, right? Or no, who's
there's Cinnamon, which was XRP's version of YouTube. Nobody has one for Algorand that's real set for prime time yet, but there's a few companies. Headline was working on something like that, where there's a YouTube-esque video sharing format, and you could tip.
That's a good idea. But I mean, there are some things that are just better suited from a centralized environment, don't you think? Right? Like not everything has to be on a blockchain.
No, I don't think it needs to be a blockchain to be better. But if it is better on blockchain, there's a good chance it'll take off.
So what technologies would be best on blockchain over a centralized source?
Well, so
like this partnership with FIFA, so tell me about that, because I just heard the headline. How is Algorand and FIFA partnering?
So it's interesting because it's not just, a lot of folks were excited because of the NFTs, right? They thought like, oh, we'll get in there, we'll make NFTs of the players.
So kind of like the tops playing cards of FIFA
exactly, right? The entertainment factor. But if you read between the lines, it also says that there's a utility partnership and a developers partnership, which could be that they're trying to integrate tickets.
Yes, that would be perfect. That is perfect for the blockchain, right? Because there's a lot of
no fraud.
Yep. Counterfeiting and tickets, right?
Yeah, you could get rid of that. You could also, oracles for the data and statistics. That could be a good application for blockchain.
Does Chainlink? You're speaking of oracles. Does Chainlink work with Algorand?
That's a good question. I don't know if they do. I know they are multi-chain, obviously, but Algoracle just rebranded to Oracle. Goracle is Algorand's Oracle company. Goracle. Hopefully they forgive me for giving the old name first. What else?
Player salaries. Would they be paying player salaries in Algorand?
Oh, I don't know about that. That'd be interesting though. But they just expired their contract with EA Sports, so I could see something where Web3 gaming comes into play, possibly with NFTs, where NFTs are could be gear in a game, something along those lines. There's several Web3 applications for NFTs and gaming, like play to earn type style games.
Okay. Interesting, right?
That's real exciting too. So there's a lot of marketing aspects there.
That was similar to like the Chili's coin, I guess, right?
Chili's I don't know what that. Chili's like the restaurant?
Nope, it was just had to do with gaming and players.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what I could see happening. They haven't made any announcements like that, but that's me sort of speculating and sort of wishful thinking, pie in the sky stuff that I'm hoping for. When we see a big partnership with FIFA, and then there's also just the marketing ploy, right? Like they're sponsoring the games. We get might be millions of people are going to see the Algorand logo cumulative over time. So
that's a bright green. The color choice is awesome for it, right? Because they had it on all these neon signs and a beautiful bright green.
Right? They were the green blockchains, green crypto. I like it. I'll go do the first. Oh yeah, NFT plane ticket. Yep, Gino's talking about the plane ticket. That happened.
Oh, if we can do away with boarding passes, that'd be awesome. Boarding passes are my good tax.
And teams decided to push their own coins. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Chili's, yeah. Gino's been a big fan of the Investing Nomads channel for a while as well too. I guess when I got involved in Lofty, I think Gino was one of the first people that was on the stream.
Oh, gotcha. All right. Yeah, there's a very loyal fan base of the Lofty crew. JT invests. He does a lot of Lofty coverage as well, and he's a real estate agent as his day job, and so he's always kind of dabbling in real estate and has some extra knowledge there, and is always excited to talk to him about real estate stuff in general. If you've ever got a chance to talk with him,
I have seen some of this. I've seen his tweets. I'm following him on Twitter for sure.
Oh yeah. You got to watch some of his videos, especially his real estate stuff. He does a lot more technical analysis than I do. I'm really just a fundamentals and here's the marketing, sales, news stuff. But he does some TA stuff that I just don't follow.
Question for you: how is Algorand able to do transactions for fractions of a penny? Are they already proof of stake, or are they proof of what's their?
They are pure proof of stake. Right.
Okay.
So they've already minted everything. It's already with the foundation, and their blockchain. The efficiencies are just stellar, similar to like an XRP. It's relatively inexpensive for them.
Are you running any nodes yourself?
I am not. No. But I've seen some of the tutorials. It doesn't seem like it's terribly difficult to do.
Would it be profitable? I guess it's not profitable, and transactions are only fractions of a penny.
Yeah, I think you would do it just to be like part of the network and and gather up some data. You might be able to like have some some access to data, and that's Gina says pure proof of stake.
Right.
I think there's a little
POS.
Right. I like it. All right, we're what, like an hour and a half in. We've been going a long time. Conversation. It's been flowing. Should we wrap it up? We got any other topics?
Yeah, my wife's been tapping on the window. She's like, "Come on, we got to go shopping."
Oh, yeah, all right.
Like this at the window.
I've got the advantage to you. So I say goodnight to the kids before we join because it's nighttime here for me. So I keep going for a little while, but that's all right. We should do this more often though.
Oh, this would be awesome. And can I have you on my stream as well too and be a guest of the Investing Nomads channel?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'll have to check to see if it's actually posted, because if it did post it, well then, I mean, we killed two birds with one stone. But this is great. You're super, super interesting, Monty. I really love talking to you, and I've learned a lot. Like I had a little notebook here and I wrote down like 3 or 4 different things you taught me today. So I'm grateful for that. Thank you so much.
I'm glad I could share it. I'm glad you hopped in and gave me some insight into Lofty stuff, because I had just sort of dabbled there before.
I thought you were a big player. How many tokens do you have in Lofty?
I've only got like 8 tokens in Lofty.
Okay.
So
all in one property or mixed over a few?
Mixed over a few. So for the first couple of months, I was buying, pretty consistently, and then it got too competitive, and I was like, all right, I got other stuff to go do. Let me go see what I'll leave the Lofty stuff alone for a little while and see what happens. Every once in a while I go check on it, and I was like, next thing I knew, like they were selling out in seconds, and I was like, wow, okay.
Do you have a Gooding token by any chance? Like, Gooding is the name of the street that the house is on.
Gooding, I don't think so. I've got Bertha, I've got Claiborne or something we share, a few others. So no Gooding. Why is that one you're missing?
To complete my set. I have every single token or every single property Lofty's ever created,
except for that Gooding. One.
Yeah,
all right.
That's my.
We'll have to find that one for you.
Whale.
All right. Well, I'm sure somebody will cough it up. One of these guys.
I hope so. Yeah.
All right. Well, Gino, have a good night.
Yeah. Gino, we'll see you later, Gino, and see you, Monty.
All right. We'll have to do this again soon. I'll hit the end stream button here. Oh, you know what? Here, I'll do the fancy graphics as we exit. Here we go.